Everybody wants to come for the Prince. You know, T.A.G is against me. AEW is against me. Nature itself is against me. See, that's the thing. See, Friday they tried to sabotage me. See, that's this stuff they're not going to tell y'all. Somebody sent a bug after me to get me sick, to where that way I wouldn't notice all the foolishness going on. See, what happened is I feel like everybody planned this shit. They planned. See, it just so happened that Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson happened to debut, the stat debut at that, the same time that Hangman Adam Page was supposed to come back. See,
you still stuck on that, right?
Well, this was a coup. This was a coup. I should be sitting right here with the crown on my head, with a nice hoodie with all the crowns on them, drinking out of a nice goblet fit for a king, fit for King Diesley. Matter of fact, right here, it should say what it should say. But no, I gotta wear a crown of sickliness right now, thanks to
Look at the coordination without even knowing. Look at the coordination here.
Then they say coordination because they know that all of this was a coup. All of this was planned. They planned to wear the same shirt. They planned to get me sick over the weekend. They planned to have Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole debut in the same match that Hangman Adam Page was supposed to debut. It's all against me. But it's cool.
I thought for like a hot minute that your prediction may come to fruition, but then as like the 6-hour event went on, it wasn't 6 hours. But, I mean, it felt like it at one point. But as the event kept going, I'm like, man, if this is really going to happen, Christian needs to get like jumped or mysteriously attacked at some point.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to Paul White, I was like, this ain't happening.
Which, now that you say that, because I remember we were texting about it, I said that something, for it to be this late in the card, there had to be a reason for it. And no, like even with it being between the Punk and Darby match and the main event, it still wouldn't have been like a clear enough palate cleanser. So it just didn't make any sense.
You know what? Sadly, though, you could have still swapped Kenny and Christian for Punk and Darby.
You could have,
like even with the debuts that came with it, like you still could have ended on a high note with Punk and Darby.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
however,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, however, what a fucking way to just shoot all of your load into one night. However, I do not approve.
Let it go.
I do not approve of a certain Casino Battle Royale's victor, but
yeah.
I mean that's only because that's what kept me from winning. But
gotcha.
So I've told y'all before, and I let the former prince or king or whatever he wanted to call himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I let him know that
I was dethroned despot, if you will.
I was offering this blade to the prediction gods, and it fulfilled its duty as the Kingslayer. And while now it has fulfilled its duty, it has now been renamed as the Throne Keeper.
Oh,
this guy.
Because y'all thought Lip Dizzle was something. This is an incoming heel turn for you. I plan to reign over this kingdom with blood and fire.
Oh, no.
I want to hold the power forever. This is just a mock-up done by the missus.
Oh no!
This
You
crown,
you see this shit?
with the unicorn and everything.
Wow!
This crown will slowly evolve as my reign continues.
Man, where'd you get that from? Burger King? No, I'm kidding. Shout out to Ashley for making that. But
for now, I will be humble. I will be benevolent. But just know, in the
benevolent, personally.
In the future, instead of the crown has spoken.
Oh, here we go.
So says the crown.
Oh my gosh! You can't just take a saying and change it.
This is what happens when you unite and then you know what? Inevitable betrayal, I think, is the wording they use for that. And
I will say this, and Mr. Deasley will get the reference. Think of it as Shang-Chi at the end when the bad guys had to unite with the good guys.
What are you? Man, I saw the movie too.
Oh, I know you seen it. Well, fine.
Yeah.
When the bad guys, when the 10 Rings had to unite with the village people.
The village people.
True evil.
Whoa, hold on, wait. So I'm true evil in this scenario?
No.
Wait, so you were the Soul Dragon? Oh.
I am.
Oh, so you're I mean, Soul Dragon loses, so I mean, enjoy that for the pay-per-view that it's gonna last for, I guess.
This one won't.
That Soul Dragon looked like something out of Magic the Gathering. I'm just gonna say that right now.
It's here. But once again, I will discuss that in future videos. Right now, we will not do it.
You got to get. Got.
You see. Now, people, you see what I was saying before, and you see how I was set up in all this. Yep. Now you truly do know that the truth is a lie.
It is.
People, I thought we were gonna put the ego of the Prince of Predictions aside and just go on with our lives. Now we have to deal with the Scootical and his crown.
Yes. At some point, but not today. Not today. But at some point. But to be fair, it was your fault with that wild ass prediction at the end.
Fair.
If you would have just kept simple, you would have still reigned supreme because we would have been tied.
I mean, technically, that tie still would have been a technicality anyway because you picked TBD to win. You never chose who TBD was going to be.
No. I said on the podcast, whoever the Joker was is who I was going for.
That's such a cop-out.
I mean, dude, for clarity's sake, though, you should have just put Joker on the prediction sheet. But
after I made it, I realized I should have put that.
That would have made sense too. But either way, the motherfucker won, so it is what it is.
Nah, I was robbed, and there was some bullshit. But I digress because she's gonna be the one to take that belt from Britt anyway. Not TBD. Oh, I definitely believe it's gonna be her to take it instead of TBD.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Oh no! The person that TBD eliminated, aka my pick, is definitely going to be the one to take that belt.
Yes.
Put it this way, I would say this: if we had one pick and one pick only, I would have said the same thing you said, Jaeger.
Yeah, I probably still would have gone with Ruby Soho though. To be honest,
that's fair.
Because the reason why, and I had explained it last night when I was watching it, is the fact that in all these battle royals, all the casino battle royals, the Joker has never won. And it made sense to do it with her.
To do it for the women.
Wait,
because
she the Joker?
Oh shit. No. What wait,
no, Ethan Page. Ethan Page was
the Joker. Yeah.
No, when Bryan when Bryan Cage debuted, wasn't he the Joker? And he won?
Hold on. I don't recall it, but let me check.
I'm not sure.
When Brian Cage had debuted for the company, I thought he was the Joker, and he ended up winning.
Because we're about to fact check me to see if I'm wrong, which that shit has definitely happened plenty of times.
No.
Or was he just a regular entrant?
I think he was just an entrant.
Yeah, he might have just been a regular entrant.
Okay, so for Casino Battle Royals, let's see, Double or Nothing, Adam Page, All Out, 2020, Lance Archer, Double or Nothing, 2021 was Jungle Boy.
Yeah, he might have just been a.
I think that was for a different Battle Royal.
It might have just okay. All right, well, I guess let's go ahead and roll from the show from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Which was weird too, because I definitely didn't expect.
Yeah. Same. That card was all over the place.
Yeah, like I mean, granted, the buy-in not really important. It was over and done in a matter of whatever.
That was pretty quick.
I will say this about the buy-in: I hated the finish
with Butcher coming back.
Because why did Jurassic Express leave and took so long to come back?
Look,
like best friends got beat to shit. The next thing you know, here they come looking like superheroes.
Because until Greg gets back, Trent gets back, they're kind of get buried.
And I'm not sure why they were trying to cut his hair, if that what was going on.
Yeah,
they're trying to cut Cassidy's hair of all people. Like, why?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it would have made sense if it was Jungle Boy, because I was like, he has long fucking hair, but like, it didn't make any fucking sense. So it's just all of it was just, yeah, it was all just fucking weird. But or hell, it could have been Marco Stunt.
Yeah,
you know, just for shits and giggles. But whatever. Yeah. Butcher returns. That's about the highlight of that shit. So Butcher and Blade are now whole again. And the HFO have another member. Well, a returning member.
Yo, like, HFO has unnecessarily become like the largest faction in AEW.
And it's all tag teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait. Jora Joel, the one Indian guy. He's a singles wrestler.
Who?
Jora Joel.
I have no idea who that is. Was I not paying attention?
He's in Dark and Elevation. He's not featured yet, but Matt Hardy's apparently taken him in as part of the HFO.
Interesting. Well, they need. Well, I mean, if they're gonna, he should have been. Was he there last night?
No,
he was not.
He should have been. See, that's the problem.
He should have. I agree. Also, apparently, when AEW eventually goes to India, he's going to be one of the bigger people to debut or to showcase.
Well, they better build him up now.
They're going to do
that because it's going to end up being like a WWE thing where it seems like it's one of those ulterior motives just to put somebody over for the location that they're in.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. So the show actually officially started with, surprisingly, a championship match.
Yes, don't know why.
Never in my mind. I thought they said on commentary, I thought the Jericho and MJF was supposed to start the event.
That would have really been surprising.
But never during this whole match, as you know, good as it was, did I ever thought Miro was going to lose.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I mean,
they did make him look good, though.
Oh, yeah. Like, that was definitely evidence that was Miro's toughest match.
Mm-hmm.
And I even love the finish of how he hit that one kick, ran off the rope, hit the other kick.
Oh, yeah.
Just to end it.
Yeah, I'm glad they gave him the cheap crotch shot to win as well. But yeah, I'm the thing with the refs in AEW is starting to become meme worthy to an extent.
You know what? It's funny because one of the shows we was watching, and Ashley was like, AEW has to have the worst refs ever, other than Aubrey.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Other than Aubrey,
and she was saying that they have to have the worst refs ever.
Bryce is dog shit, but I think that might be like part of his character.
It has to be at this point.
Like he's fucked up so many pinfalls, though. It's kind of it's actually starting to wear on me.
Nah. I mean, I can forgive it to an extent if that was the case. But when you have when the fans are constantly shitting on you,
yes,
and it's not because of like a bias of who they want to win, like it's literally because of a spot that looks legitimately like, yo, like you clearly fucked that shit up, which is what that turnbuckle spot was when like he's going to fix a turnbuckle, but never did. Like I'd be like, oh, if you fix a turnbuckle and I'd be like, all right, cool. He at least fixed it, so that makes sense. But the pad was still fucking off by the time they did the spot where he did the crotch shot, and so, and then he missed the count. That of course Kingston would have got the 3 count as well, but the fans in attendance thought that Eddie Kingston probably was going to win. I would hope that
shit out of him.
Yeah. But either way, Kingston looked good.
I thought Chicago people don't care for New York people.
To keep that.
But we didn't get any CJ Perry though.
Unfortunately.
But I have a feeling that she'll be arriving eventually, sometime in the near future, because I think her non-compete was up around the same time as Ruby Soho's. So
okay.
She can show up for Rampage.
She can show up at any point in time, yeah. Next up, we get Jon Moxley against Satoshi Kojima.
Oh man,
I'm never mad at Moxley with any New Japan talent. Outside of who the fuck did he face? Oh my gosh, I hate that I'm drawing a blank.
Kenta?
No, not Kenta. He faced him on, I believe it was Dynamite, and I think it was for the TNT title. Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm sorry for the United States Championship.
For the US belt.
Justice was his nickname.
Hold up.
And we just look over.
Something with a G, right?
Yuji Nagata.
Yuji Nagata, thank you.
Yeah, because that match, I felt, because I think that was right before a pay-per-view, and I think we all said it should have been on a pay-per-view, and it should have been longer.
Well, no, that was the match. Didn't he do that match? Then like the week later, he fought
Lance Archer.
Yeah, Lance Archer.
I think so, maybe.
I think that was the story on that.
Yeah, because that shit, yeah, it just. Yeah, because this was back in May. So I think this was before they were supposed to go into I think All In.
You mean All Out?
No. Whatever pay-per-view that they had the Stadium Stampede. Because that's where him and Kingston had challenged for the tag team titles.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But regardless,
Double or Nothing. It's Double or Nothing. Then it was.
Maybe it was Double or Nothing.
Yeah, it could have been Double or Nothing. But they have 4 throughout the year, and All Out was definitely the 3rd because Full Gear is going to be the 4th.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But yeah.
And Revolution is the 1st.
That's what it was. So Revolution, then Double or Nothing. So it was Double or Nothing, and then All Out.
Yeah. But yeah, again, Mox with the majority of the New Japan opponents that he has, it's always a good match and a fun time. I like the fact that he was wearing the GCW hoodie since he had just won the GCW title, which he actually ended up getting a GCW chant.
Which I actually thought that's what he had on under the hoodie.
What, the title?
I thought he had the title on under the hoodie.
I kind of wish he would have, but something about Jon Moxley and like not carrying titles unless like it's warranted is like his thing.
Yeah.
You know, leave it to Kenny. Kenny will carry every fucking title he can. But Mox says, no, unless I'm defending this title, I'm not carrying it with me. But you know, hey, it's Mox.
Yeah.
But outside of everything that happened in this match, the highlight of this match was the end.
Post match, actually.
The post match, as they would say, because of course Mox won with a
was it 2?
with the paradigm shift and a Death Rider.
Yeah, that second one was definitely a Death Rider.
Yeah, they literally have to stop saying this like, oh, it's a high angled fucking paradigm shift. No.
That is the Death Rider, you motherfuckers.
I wonder is the fact that they don't want to say Death Rider. Like, what is it?
I mean, it's not WWE. I mean, they've said a lot worse shit. So I mean
they
like
doesn't say shit.
and matter of fact, Tony Schiavone was saying shit all over this.
Oh my god, him with Callis. Holy shit.
Yeah, he called him a piece of shit. He said bullshit. It was a bunch of shit.
We had Excalibur apologizing for the colorful language on live.
Even though it was on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Schiavone might have been drunk that night.
Could have been. I wouldn't be surprised. But
yes, the arrival of Minoru Suzuki. And not only that, but then proceeds to beat Moxley up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to get physical. I'm glad that they did.
Right.
Especially with Mox's elbow bleeding like it was. Added a little bit of color to this back and forth.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened either.
It didn't happen on the paradigm shift. It happened on something else because I remember when he did the paradigm shift is when more blood got on the mat. But yeah, I remember seeing it because they said they called it on commentary. I think it was during the middle of the match, but it wasn't as spread out. It was just a red spot, and then by the time the match ended, is when it was actually just dripping more down his arm.
Yeah. Like there was a little bit at first, but yeah, it just ended up pouring out.
But yeah, him and Suzuki just laid into each other for a little bit, and then Suzuki got the better of him, which leads me to believe that Mox is going to get the better of him.
Well, at match Wednesday.
Yeah,
slightly disappointed in the fans not singing that Kaze ni Nare for Suzuki's entrance.
I thought they did.
I mean, you had like half attendance do it. That's what I mean. Like you damn fools. All right, fine. I mean, but if we're talking about disappointment and fan participation, I'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's coming from a bias. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, exactly right, but still.
Fair. But yeah, this basically just set up the match on Wednesday for Mox's homecoming in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, of course. So we'll get to see that match on Dynamite, which is still pretty much going to be riding a nice wave of what's the word?
Momentum.
let's go with momentum. Momentum sounds like a better word to use. But we go from there to another surprising match this early, the AEW Women's Championship match being title being defended by Britt Baker against Chris Statlander.
They kept saying it amongst the match card that they kept saying the winner of the Battle Royal was going to face the winner. So they made it seem like the Battle Royal was going to happen afterwards, which was kind of like, okay. But, yeah, I'm surprised it was this early. Like, there could have been some serious card reshuffling with this, but it happened the way it happened.
True enough.
Once again, this was another. So the thing is, the first, like, up until the tag team cage match, every match we knew the winner.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think in one doubt that Statlander was going to beat Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Like, her title reign wasn't long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like Britt had the belt for like so long.
Yeah, and it's just one thing that it's all these promotions do, is especially when somebody has an undefeated streak, they'll keep talking about that as if it's going to be the one thing that's going to stop the person coming into and trying to beat them, and that person ends up ending that streak. They did it with Cena and Rusev. When Cena stopped Rusev to win the United States Championship. They
Charlotte.
Yeah, Asuka and Charlotte.
Don't bring up that one. That one makes me sad.
It makes me sad too. But so on and so forth. But that it's what they do, because normally it wouldn't be a second thought. They would just go on by the wayside. Nobody would talk about it. They would have a match. But then the moment it's a big match situation, they talk about it. Then you 9 times out of 10 that person's losing. But
Also,
but yeah, this definitely wasn't a bad match. But I think mainly because it's one of those situations where we know where it's going, that it's kind of hard to be invested, especially when there wasn't that much build for it in the first place. The build that they had for it, they did a little bit stuff here. They did a few things here and there, but most of the stuff with Chris Statlander was dealing with the best friends and the Hardy family office.
We know.
So, yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Dr. Becker hitting that Panama Sunrise.
Well, Pittsburgh Sunrise.
True.
Yeah, Excalibur switched that up real quick, because I was like, oh shit, she doing the Panama Sunrise? Because the moment that she did the hand gesture, I was like, okay. But yeah, Excalibur changed that shit real quick. He said, with the Pittsburgh Sunrise. I was like, that's what that's what they're doing now. But we should have known that it was a nice little tease to Adam Cole showing up.
I mean, especially with Cole hitting the lockjaw on Kyle O'Reilly.
That's what
that's a nice little comeuppance on that.
And that's what I was saying too before, but I was like, that's what took me out of the whole, Cole could be debuting, because I thought about it and I was like, Cole did do the lockjaw at TakeOver, so I guess it's her kind of, paying homage to him in this situation. So that completely threw the debut out of my head at that point. So
I was like strike one on him coming in.
So good on y'all for swerving me just a little bit. And part of that was mainly because I was still being hopeful on the Hangman thing, but we'll get into that later as well. But yeah, Britt Baker takes this with the lockjaw, and she retains. Now, you know what? No, I'll wait. I'll wait for us to talk about that when we actually get to the winner of the Battle Royal, because next was another championship match, the steel cage match,
the match of the night.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, and the surprise of the night for me, because I honestly did not expect Lucha Brothers to win. That's not a slight against them.
Well,
that's just the way I thought the story was going.
It's kind of what y'all said that made me go ahead and go with the Lucha Brothers. Y'all, yeah, I think it was Jaeger who hinted at, see, y'all haven't won championships under Pac, but y'all can win championships under me. And I think we were supposed to probably get the swerve of the Lucha Brothers betraying Pac as the tag team champions, because Andrade was probably the one who gave them the extra oomph to go out there and win those belts or whatever. So that's what I was thinking.
And that's what I ended up thinking after Andrade's promo that he had, because I was like, well, they may be going in a different direction, and they may have, and once they actually won, then I thought about it even more, because I was like, well, you know what? They're probably going to end up using this to spin against the Pac situation by having them be like, oh, well, Andrade was actually here, Pac wasn't, so you know, me being here, you know, helped y'all with this, and with him not being here, you really don't need him. So, you know,
I should have remembered the formula, and that's whenever there's a championship match, or like whoever has the upper hand on the go home show takes the win, or I mean the opposite takes the win.
Yeah.
And damn it, I should have remembered that little formula here in this case. But
well,
they put on one hell of a match regardless.
Yes.
And I'm just happy to have watched it.
And it's funny because even during their entrance, I was like, okay, they're trying to swerve me some more. They give them a big entrance to make them feel like they're about to win, just to swerve everybody and have them lose.
Oh, for me that was a nail in the coffin. But yeah.
when the fucking entrance happened, all I could hear in my mind was Scoot being like, "Oh, well, you know they're about to win." But
well,
I was like,
nah. I think this night was meant to honestly be the downfall of the Elite, but since no Hangman, you know, it didn't work out 100%. But I think All Out was supposed to be the Elite's downfall. So why not go ahead and get it started with the Bucks losing the belts? I mean, losing the tag titles, and then I guess had it cascade from then on.
Aren't the Good Brothers still tag team titles? Or tag team
as far as I know, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have them and Kenny with gold. Or platinum, whatever you want to call them.
So let me ask. Oh. Well, you know what? I'll ask the question when we get there later.
All right.
Yeah, this match definitely match of the night. This
fucking match.
If you didn't believe that fucking tag team wrestling is alive in AEW, you should definitely have believed that shit tonight, because this is one of the things here, and it's crazy because this is something that WWE used to do a long time ago, where you wouldn't need a pay-per-view to have specialty matches just all around. You could have a regular pay-per-view that would have like a specialty match here and regular matches all around. And you know, it's a formulaic way of getting people prepared for something interesting throughout the night instead of having to stock and pack everything at one time. And it's funny because WWE is somebody that painted that formula for people to do this, and yet they've fallen at the wayside on their own shit, which is kind of poetic in a way.
Right.
But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean they don't care about their tag teams yet. You have AEW here showing everybody that we have a lot of tag teams, yet we know how to use them all. You know, same thing when we just watched FTR and Proud and Powerful go at it on Dynamite and do that thing, and you still have tag teams left and right by the wayside just waiting, for their shot. Shout out to the return of the Acclaim, by the way, as well. I got to get that out because I'm very happy.
Oh, shit.
Very happy about that. But that's a video for another day, and we'll definitely get into that eventually. But this match, a definite surprising win by the Lucha Bros. I'm happy for them. The only issue that I have, and it's no slight against them, is that because of my own fantasy booking in my head, what happens at New York now with Proud and
This is
Powerful?
the thing, though.
I mean, they can still beat them.
Never had they really hyped the New York show up like that. They never really put the hype behind the New York show like they did with the Rampage in Chicago and this and the third. Like they never, they never really hyped the New York show up like that. We was just saying it because it's their first time in New York. New York is a big wrestling town.
True.
We do special stuff there. So it was never really advertised as a big event, unfortunately.
All right, well then let me ask this then. Mm-hmm. So with all the with the previous title holders in the tag division, they've had lengthy title reigns to an extent. Are we seeing the end of long title reigns moving forward?
I hope so. Like I don't necessarily say we got a hot potato to belts or anything like that, but I personally don't think the Lucha Brothers should be champions all the way up damn near until Double or Nothing. I'm not saying they have to necessarily lose them this year, but they don't have to be almost a year in before they lose the belts type of thing.
I don't see them making it out of this year as tag team champs.
I was trying to be nice. I was about to say that. I was trying to be a little nice about it, but I can see them losing it this year. I don't know to who yet, but I can definitely see them losing it by the end of the year.
I think we at most get 2 more teams holding those titles by the end of this year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because we think about it, we're in September. So we got, and this is the beginning of September, October, November, December. That's 4 months right there. At the most, 2 more teams will probably hold those titles.
Okay.
One more for sure.
September, October. Oh shoot, November, December. I'm thinking we're gonna get probably 1 more team until. One more team before the end of the year is over.
Y'all think they lose them in Full Gear or on a Dynamite?
I'd probably say Full Gear.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd wager Full Gear.
Because I would be upset personally if, September, it was like September 22nd, I think it was. I would be personally upset if FTR or Proud and Powerful get the title shot and then they take the belts off of the Lucha Bros that fast. It'd be like, damn, you only gave
Full Gear?
Like,
I mean, Full Gear's a good, 3 months, 4 months?
I think it's like November or something. I forgot the exact date they said, but it's sometime in November. It's Full Gear.
Yeah, 2 months away. That's not terrible. No, 3 months.
November 6th.
November 6th? Okay. So, exactly 2 months. Damn near.
Yeah, so they.
Okay.
And I mean, there's also specialty shows that they have too. So
that is true too. Even Travis Scott gave Matt Jackson a little shout out.
Oh yeah.
He posted the image of him with the Travis Scott shoe with when he was about to lick the thumbtacks.
Mm-hmm.
He posted that picture.
Yeah.
Matt posted that picture?
No, Travis Scott.
Oh, Travis Scott did?
Yeah, Travis Scott himself posted it.
That's pretty great.
Oh, this is interesting.
What's that?
Hold on. Let me, because I'm before I look completely stupid.
I said, you got some breaking news?
No breaking news. But I think I'm just about to make myself look stupid altogether. And if this is the case, then yep. Yeah. So when Hangman lost, I didn't know that it knocked him out of the top 5 completely. I thought he just couldn't. Yeah. Okay. So that's where I fucked up.
Wait, you didn't? I told you that.
He
See,
did.
you said something, but my mind heard something else.
No, I told you that, and you said stop it.
Yeah, because
Right.
because my mind heard something else. That's why I said stop it. Well, interesting. Anyway, but yeah, but that still would have been a nice
Wait.
swerve.
Are
For
we getting excuses for your loss now? Is that what
no, not at all.
this is?
No, because I mean, I came on here to look at the tag rankings to kind of see what we were looking at. So yeah, we there's a number of people that could actually end up going after these titles, but logistically, it could end up being FTR. Because unless the Lucha Bros turn heel, that's the only heel team that would make sense to take those titles off the Lucha Brothers. But I don't see that happening either. But regardless, this match, I'm not sure when Penta got busted open, because I remember when Matt broke out his thumbtack shoe.
Yeah, he was busted open before then.
Yeah, before that. Yeah, and it was and that's the crazy thing about having those damn masks on, because it looked worse than I believe it was, because when they did that shot. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't that bad, because when I watched I watched BTE earlier, and when they did another shot of it, it didn't look as bad. So so it was nice. So I'm glad that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was initially. But all in all, still, yeah. And that's another thing that they did too that I like. Everything was pretty much by happenstance. Nothing was orchestrated as far as like a blade job or them bringing out like tables or chairs outside of the fucking thumbtack shoe, because they didn't need it. And that's what I appreciate about that too. Nothing wrong with accidental color.
No.
I did like the conversation they had, or at least in BTE they have it with that Matt has with Cutler. He's like, "Look, man, we've got like 20 different finishing moves to use, but
I thought about Scoot when he said that.
Yeah, right. He tells Cutler like on the BTE camera, he's like, "We got about 20 different like moves to use on these guys, but in case they don't work, I got a little something special." And he's like, "It's in this black bag. I want you to bring it out to us and like throw it into the ring." He's like, "You want me to throw that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's about a 25-foot throw.
They're about 25 feet.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to make it in here."
Shouts out to Cutler doing it on first try.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, Penta and Phoenix take this.
And
it was a lot of good false finishes that I did appreciate. I also appreciate Phoenix not doing anything fucking crazy off the top to hurt himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad the craziest thing they did was the fucking Canadian Destroyer off the top rope and not off the top of the fucking cage.
Yeah, I think that would have maybe killed me if I saw it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like Scoot said, and new AEW Tag Team Champions, well deserved for them.
Yeah.
They are, and what a commentator said, they are pretty much undefeated at All Out. So I'm assuming that they are treating All Out like their fucking WrestleMania at this point.
I thought that was the thing. I thought so too. I thought that All Out was like their WrestleMania.
It has to be.
If that's the case, then I'm still fine with it. I'm glad they let it be known if that's the case.
Yeah.
So yeah. But we go from there. And an emotional ending to that too, because Penta called his little girls out there.
Oh, did he? I must have missed that.
Yeah.
Like 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that.
At first, I thought it was like his wife and 2 kids or something, but no, those were like 3 kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is a good feel good moment. So
It was.
we appreciate that. But we get from there to finally when it came, I was like, oh, about time. Get to watch this damn match. The Casino Battle Royal.
All right, let me ask y'all a real question here.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all feel about the rules of this battle royal?
As far as what the drawing of like all people
Like,
coming out at one time.
Each groups are in suits, or they either diamonds, clubs, hearts, or spades. Then you get the Joker. Like, how do y'all feel about all of that?
I don't mind it up to a certain extent, and by that I mean like when you have them all come out like that, it's just like those entrances are weird because a lot of us are so used to like the whole Royal Rumble aspect of it, where you do the countdown, you get one person coming out, and this whole thing is like 30, about a 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour long, and so we're all invested in just like the whole countdown. Oh shit, who's next? And then the entrance. Now they found a way to expedite that whole thing, which is cool, but at certain points,
doing it
because
5 people at a time.
yeah, and I think because we're so used to the whole Royal Rumble aspect, entrances like Anna Jay's entrance, for instance, it falls short when she comes out there and she's trying to celebrate after she knocks somebody out to somebody else's music,
Right.
So it's a little weird, and I thought about that last night as well. But the only person that benefits from it, honestly, is probably the very first person and the Joker.
Especially the Joker.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But I should have. I definitely chose horrible. As far as like my first.
No. I will say this to be perfectly honest with you. Looking at AEW and how it's been going, it wasn't clear on who was next up.
True.
It wasn't clear. So it could have easily been Thunder Rosa because of the rivalry. It could have been Jade Cargill because her words, she is that bitch. It could have been Big Swole because it would have been like, oh shit, here comes Swole. I know,
Well, she also has had a small rivalry with Britt Baker.
Yeah, tooth and nail. So
that's what I was going with. Now, see, here's the thing, and that's one of the reasons why I picked Swole as one of my picks, because again, that's something that's completely unfinished. And Swole was technically supposed to have a match with Britt Baker for said title, or she was in line to challenge for the AEW Women's Championship. I don't know what happened after that, but she disappeared. I knew it wasn't going to be Jade because they're not going to put Jade in that position like now. Yeah. It's not. I knew it wasn't going to be.
It could have been Anna Jay because she was returning. So
and that's what commentary played up as well.
I mean, I knew for a fact it wasn't going to be Sky Blue. I knew it wasn't going to be Abaddon. I knew it wasn't going to be Sheeta, Riho,
Red Velvet,
Nyla. Like there was some women I knew it was. Like I knew it wasn't going to be Red Velvet. She just had the title shot. So there was some women I knew who wasn't going to be it, but there were about a good 7 choices.
Yeah,
I could have made,
True.
I'm just annoyed that I didn't just bite the bullet and pick TBG. I mean, Ruby Soho.
Well, to me, it makes the most sense because you can have her debut, you can have her win this, get her moment here at this point in time, and then have her lose to Britt Baker because she doesn't lose anything because of it. And
that's true.
And on top of that, they've even talked about this before, with how they, they've never wrestled each other like that. Anytime they were together on the indies, it was more of a, Ruby basically being like in a mentorship role to Britt Baker. So with that, it's more of a, they're going to have a good match. She's going to put her over, make her look good. And then eventually she's going to go on to, eventually win that title potentially. Now, unless plans change, Thunder Rosa is the one that's meant to take that title. So right now, Thunder Rosa is either going to have a feud with either Nyla Rose or Jade Cargill moving forward. That's very apparent, mainly because of the way that she eliminated Nyla Rose. I don't know. I can't remember if she eliminated Jade Cargill.
No, Nyla Rose did, I believe.
Okay, so we'll probably get a big woman match between those two, and then we'll probably get Thunder Rosa in the mix on that. But yeah, Ruby Soho makes the most sense right now to have a promising match with Britt Baker to help her elevate her stock. So that way, once Thunder Rosa gets into the picture, they're going to have an even better match, and then Thunder Rosa can retain that title, or attain that title, and then Britt Baker can do something after that. Who knows?
Personally speaking, this is just me, and this is just speaking on the booking. At some point, they got to stop doing that to Nyla Rose.
What's that?
Keep giving her all of these title shots, or keep making her seem like she's going to be next up, because then all it keeps looking like it's just going to be a swing and a miss.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Nyla having a title shot against Dr. Baker, Nyla having multiple title shots against Sheeta, she lost the belt to Sheeta. Nyla losing to Riho, then eventually she ended up beating Riho. But it's like every champion doesn't necessarily have to keep going through Nyla Rose. Or Nyla Rose doesn't always have to keep being the quote-unquote looming threat, in a sense, because then now it's going to start making her look like she's not credible as a contender.
Well, that's one of their problems that I've seen with AEW's women's division. And I mean, outside of Jade Cargill, because they're actually doing something smart with her. But when you think of Nyla Rose, you think of Abaddon, you think of these things being like imposing threats. Now, if you take it on the men's side, you look at, in past promotions, you think of guys like Abyss, who's supposed to be dominant. They found a way to make him an imposing threat, but make him beatable against guys like AJ Styles at the time, who was primarily an X Division guy. They found a way to make him a beatable threat, but still make it be taxing. With Abaddon, the moment that she lost to Sheeta is when her stock just down.
Yeah.
You think about Nyla Rose. When she lost to Rio, her stock down completely. So it's their booking that they have with their women that's supposed to be dominant forces. I mean, you look at somebody like Miro, who they have booked perfectly on his account. Now, I don't know if that's all because of how much creative he has on his own character, but they allow him to be a certain way to where, he can have credible matches with somebody like Fuego del Sol, and they can play up the fact that, it's the tornado DDTs, stuff with his neck, but still have him being imposing force. Whereas you have Nyla lose to Riho, and it's like, I mean, you lost to Rio, so I mean, I know this person can beat you.
You lost to a 90-pound little magical girl.
Exactly, anyway. You lost to Riho, and the thing was, it wasn't like you lost to Riho in some type of wild stipulation type match or anything. You lost a legit one-on-one contest to Riho.
Absolutely, and that's where the problem lies. So I mean, with her. Go ahead, Scoop.
Oh, but I was about to say, I was just say, personally speaking, I can see why save Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
Because, since they did have such a heated rivalry earlier this year, I can see why save it. But at the same time, I don't want this to be done to Ruby at the same time. Like, I'm pretty sure Ruby might get a couple of matches under her belt before the title match. But, in less than maybe 5 matches, Ruby's about to have a title shot.
which is why Thunder Rosa should have won, so you could build the hype for Full Gear, and then have Ruby Soho be like her next possible competitor.
Actually, hell, their rivalry transcend. It didn't even have to be on Full Gear. It could have just been a main event on a Dynamite.
Mm-hmm. Well, my thing is this, especially with AEW, because they're so good with swerving a lot of people. I mean, they could turn around and like put the title on Ruby Soho, even for a moment, and have Britt Baker win it back. It's that possible. Now, the only reason I'm saying is because she doesn't lose anything by losing to Britt Baker, on the initial title shot, so it's okay. Now, if she goes on a fucking tear and all of a sudden just ends up, all right, you know what? All right, finally I got my shot with Britt Baker. We're going to do it. And then she just gets squashed. Then, yeah, we'd have something to talk about. But at this point, because, again, this could be the Hangman and Omega situation where we're holding out for an end of a story that we may not get a conclusion to because XYZ may happen. Because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if Thunder Rosa's stock may drop down the line. Nobody may be asking for that match later on. So, but we still are, and I know a lot of people are still invested in it. But only time will tell. So, I trust Tony Khan and all their creative to do the right thing with this. But Britt Baker shouldn't lose that title anytime soon, though. That's for damn sure.
No.
Should be in a couple months of Full Gear. That's where it should be. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Do it like Revolution or Double or Nothing.
I would say personally, Dr. Baker should be the last woman to have a long title reign.
I agree.
Maybe Thunder Rosa.
Definitely agree.
Maybe Thunder Rosa, but
only reason why I won't say Thunder Rosa, only because with her being such a baby face, she could easily just get healed and lose the title.
But damn, could you imagine a heel turn by Thunder Rosa? She could put the paint on the other side of the face.
I mean, he's not lying. They just switch sides, and you'd be like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Exactly. Just change up the style of the paint just a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and advertise the pupper.
But congrats to Ruby Soho.
Who got a massive pop when her music hit.
Yeah,
sure as fuck did.
And we'll talk about that later on as well. When we get to another segment, I want to talk about that happened after the show. But we get from there to Jericho and MJF.
You know what? To be perfectly honest with you, going into this match, I kind of didn't care.
Wow.
Wait, let me. I kind of didn't care up until the finish. Because if they would have kept the original finish, like Dizzle said, that would have been the great way out to be like, wait a minute, MJF never truly beat me. My foot was on the rope.
And they should have addressed that on Dynamite or Rampage or somewhere outside of this pay-per-view.
Yeah. And that's why I said, because it was an out for Jericho. It was a clever, because I would never thought about them doing it like that. I thought they were literally going to go down to the finish and say, okay, we're going to have a finality to this whole thing, and giving MJF that fourth win in his mind, and then having Jericho be like, then you could have easily gone back and be like, okay, well, since you didn't technically beat me, we can go for that one match again or whatever. Something.
Because what they could have done, honestly, they could have did it, and it could have had Jericho own up to the agreement. He could have been doing commentary, and then what happens is Max could have been taking his pot shots. He could have been taking all his little shots, and then finally,
just eat them up inside.
Maybe around Full Gear or something, he would be like, all right, Max, you want to go back to the footage? My foot was on the rope before the ref hit 3. She never saw it. So if that's the way you want to take it, or you can legitimately beat me for real, you know, they could have did it something like that. But the moment they restarted the match, I was like, well, our pick was wrong.
Yeah.
It's these damn retirement stipulations, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost at the point where I'm like, what's the point? What's the point in any of them now?
What's the point?
Because
it's just so you know that they win.
Yeah, it's just because I mean, because again, MJF still would have been up.
He still is up. He's still up 3-1.
Yeah.
Like regardless of how it plays out, MJF is still up 3-1.
So
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a bad match between the two, but
no, not at all.
The fact that this was the 4th time they fought, so it was like, okay,
starting to feel a little repetitive.
Yeah, I was more interested in Jericho losing to see what was going to happen because during the match, I was like fantasy booking in my head. I was like, okay, well, maybe we get a new leader in the inner circle. And that's why I was like, okay, maybe one of these debuts is going to give us a new leader in the circle to give us a younger guy to help like push the group forward into a new direction.
Chris could have still led the inner circle. It just would have been like he would have just been on
like
the
a
outside.
Mouthpiece. Yeah.
And then eventually Chris could have been like, well, hey, I'm still the leader. Since I can't fight, here's our 4th guy, Adam Cole, or here's our 4th guy, insert name, or here's our 4th guy. I mean, here's our 5th guy. I mean,
right, damn.
Here's our 5th guy, somebody else who we didn't expect to be in the inner circle come join. Like Chris could have still led the group just in a manager-like sense.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It happened. Shout out to Aubrey Edwards for not counting them out when they were outside the ring for 2 minutes.
Yo, the fuck was that about?
Fam, when Jericho used that, okay, so I must have zoned out at first because all the fighting they was doing on the outside, I was thinking they was pulling the bell didn't ring yet. Then when Jericho used the stanchion and shit, I was like,
Why was that not a disqualification for real?
And it never clicked to me. It never clicked to me at that point until when we were texting about it, and y'all had threw it up, and y'all brought it up, and I was like, oh shit, that's right. That should have been disqualification also.
Like I said, yeah, I thought it was one of those situations where the bell didn't ring yet and they were just brawling it out, but it was like, okay, no count out. That's fine. They got heat. Let them fight. Jericho clearly used the weapon right outside the ring in the ref's view. No DQ. So it's like, okay, that's fine. Kind of like what you said, Lip. Ref discretion. Let them fight.
Nah, that was Jaeger said that shit.
Oh, Jaeger, my bad. Jaeger said it. I was like, okay, let them fight.
I mean, freaking New Japan does that all day. Like, it's really up to the ref. So, like, there's an older dude named Red Shoes.
Red Shoes.
Yeah, Red Shoes does not give I'm not sure if he retired. But from every match that I've seen him in, he does not give a shit. Like he lets them fight. He lets them go out into the stands. Like before COVID, he would let them go up and down the people. He would let them grab a chair and start beating the shit out of each other with them. It's like the only time he would start counting when they're out is like he's like when he just says like, okay, that's enough. Get back in here. Like then he starts running up a ref count, and then what is it like when it's overkill to use a weapon? Then he's just like, hey, no, you ain't doing all that.
And then it doesn't help that New Japan has the 20 count too. So
yeah, but they do a fast 20 count in opposition of like the slow 10 count.
But yeah, Jericho got the dub. He hit the Lion Tamer, or tried to hit the Lion Tamer.
Shout out to fucking MJF for using Chris Jericho's OG entrance.
Yes.
I was like, the last match of Jericho. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Jaeger has a bone to pick with the Chicago Choir.
Yeah, what the fuck, y'all? Chicago ain't shit at singing Judas. Houston Strong sang the fuck out of Judas from the jump. And here y'all are, like, coming in for the I become. Like, no, fuck y'all. Y'all did not sing that shit worth a damn. Although, to be fair, you did not have a warning like we did.
No, I mean they had a guitar intro.
Yeah, they at least had a guitarist. Y'all had the cue of just Jericho coming out there.
Y'all had to do this shit a cappella. Chicago was able to be escorted in, and part of it they still were kind of offbeat just for a little bit. But I'm not here to.
Inner Circle comes out. They all celebrate as a big happy faction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True enough.
I did appreciate the Wardlow and Hager cameos.
Yeah. It was funny because I was asking myself, I was like, yo, I know we've seen FTR and Proud and Powerful on Dynamite, but I ain't seen nobody else from Pinnacle or Inner Circle, nowhere else to be found anywhere. And all of a sudden, bam, here they come. Wardlow and Hager. Wardlow and Hager.
I ain't joined yet.
But we get from there, and again, surprised that the match that went on prior to the main event didn't happen at this point in time, but we end up getting Punk and Darby Allin.
So I will say this. CM Punk came out. That's when I started to doubt my decision.
You should have doubted your decision when you picked the guy that wasn't at home.
I get that. I 100% get that. But at the same time, it had to be at the expense of Darby Allin, though.
Who else would he have challenged? Hold on. Let's entertain this. Who else would he have challenged?
That's another good question. But still, I don't know. He could have challenged. Damn it, Darby, it had to be you, didn't it?
What was he going to do? Challenge Ricky Starks for the FTW title?
Why not? But, like I said, it wasn't a bad match.
It was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad at all. Like I said, it's just I hope this doesn't hurt Darby in the long run, personally.
No, it won't.
I doubt it.
That's my only fear. I just don't want it to hurt Darby in the long run. But where do y'all see Punk going forward after this?
That's a good question.
We'll see.
Well, if you're a BTE fan, you'll see that little Johnny Hungy was talking about who the next Exalted one could be.
Who did he say?
He just off the cuff says, "Oh yeah, maybe CM Punk will be the next Exalted one," and then does a spit take at what a great idea to him that sounds like.
You know what? I'll wait till after because that's kind of all encompassing to what I was going to talk about.
Oh damn! No, go ahead.
No. I mean, as far as with Punk's next moving forward, and then of course where whether this hurts Darby or not.
I'm just trying to figure out what his next feud could be.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Maybe it might be somebody in Team Taz.
Zip has an idea. Looks like.
Maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, this was a match where Punk got his groove back.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was nice to watch because you could tell, from the moment that the match started, where he was in there and trying to like riding a bike all over again. And I think it was the moment that Darby like ran and just did that like just that shoulder bump from one turnbuckle to the next. Yeah. And it was like the alarm clock went off, and it's like Punk woke up, and it was like, oh, here's where I am.
Yes.
And then they got into it.
Spot of the night, other than some of the shit that was in that cage match.
Oh, I feel like I know.
CM Punk dodging the coffin drop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the audacity and the swagger alone of that, just sit right up.
The moment that happened, I knew for a fact I picked wrong. I knew for a fact the moment he dodged the coffin drop like that, I 100% picked wrong.
I love the first GTS that knocked Darby out of the ring, because that was a nice way to do that shit.
That looked like a botch, but it also looked so genuine though.
And then just like the back and forth at the very end, where Punk finally got Darby up, and just the swiftness of that final GTS. Perfect. And then Punk got the 1, 2, 3.
I felt that whole situation would have been better without Sting's thing. I felt like Punk should have just went over there and picked Darby up himself.
Yeah.
And they would have just kind of had the moment without Sting.
A little handshake or a hug or something.
Yeah. Sting didn't necessarily have to be a part of that moment. Personally,
it was like Sting came down there, was like, congratulations, you beat my son.
Yeah.
It felt that way.
Right.
But it's good to see old Chick Magnet back in the ring.
Cookie Monster.
Oh, C. Montgomery. You know.
Oh, C. Montgomery.
It's good to see him back in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to get used to the long trunks.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure it'll grow
to wear the short trunks again.
Yeah.
What was it?
I'll get to that later. I
follow AJ Lee on Instagram. She showed that she was watching his match, and then got a still of him, and like after he won, she's like, "Well, that was stressful."
It won't be moving forward. That's for sure.
It shouldn't be.
But we go. Ironically enough, we do go to something stressful, because we had Paul White versus QT Marshall.
Hold on a second. This was my coffee match, man.
Can we discuss the other thing before this first?
Which other thing?
Why do we care about America Top Team and Men of the Year forming a relationship?
Wait, is this what I missed when I went to go get coffee? Like, I'm not kidding. I had left the TV for this.
Did this happen during that time?
Before this match or after this match?
Yeah, it was so unimportant. I completely forgot when it happened.
It had to have been before, because I saw the end of Paul White.
Dan Lambert had Junior Dos Santos, Andre Arlovsky, Jorge Masvidal in the Men of the Year. He was talking his trash. Then the Men of the Year started talking their trash. So I guess they kind of formed some form of a relationship, the Men of the Year and America Top Team. And it was
he was.
Why is this taking up Showtime?
Yeah, because he was saying some shit. Because the way it happened, I thought they were about to do something like during the show.
Me too.
They were talking like, so Dan Lambert started talking about like, oh, well, now we're at the point now where like the moment I tell them to do something, then they're going to, take out whoever or what. I'm like, why? Yeah, they were doing just fine before you got there anyway.
Wait, he said he's going to tell Men of the. He said he's going to tell Men of the Year when to take people out.
Not even so much the Men of the Year. He was talking about his UFC fighters as well. He made it seem like the UFC fighters in the men. Put it this way, they made it seem like they was gonna try to pull a 2.0 in Daniel Garcia when they attacked CM Punk. They made it seem like they was gonna try to hijack the main event or something like that. Like I don't understand what's that for. But then you get to QT, and I don't even think this match lasted 5 minutes.
I don't think it did. And that's mainly because I was pretty sure I was down to go get coffee for like 8.
And then honestly, I'm really being genuinely honest, and there's no disrespect to QT nor Paul, but why was this on All Out?
Should have been on freaking Rampage or something.
It could have been on Wednesday's Dynamite.
Like if that look.
And Malachi and Dustin. Like I think you said that, or Jaeger, one of y'all said it.
That'd be me.
Yeah, Malachi and Dustin could have been on the card rather than
hell. This. FTR and Proud and Powerful could have been on this shit.
Oh yeah,
that would have been beautiful.
Like
but I did not see because there was no Gun Club interference. I think the factory tried to interfere. But it led
they tried and
then anyway.
Yeah, choke slam, a knockout punch, and then another choke slam.
Yeah, I don't even think QT got offense in really.
He got a little bit. He got like a drop kick, some other shit. Tried to get a diamond cutter, but that went nowhere. So yeah, this match was there. It was there. It was present.
Did the Gun Club even show up?
No. Gun Club didn't even show up.
Paul White basically won. He walked in, won, and walked out.
Literally, it could have been Paul White versus the Factory, and that probably would have been a better match. Because at least you could say he beat up QT, Solo, and Camarado.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Pointless shit, folks. But yeah. There it is. If you guys, I don't know what 2 to 3 people wanted to hear about this match. Whatever. The main event.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Deasley.
Yo.
At what point did you start to think that your prediction was not gonna happen?
There was still a point that after the bell rang, I was like, okay, well, maybe they can pull some shit and try to get the match. Yeah, because I was thinking that maybe they were trying to like really, really swerve everybody and really throw it out there. But yeah, it did not. It did not. And then that match went on. And then like that's when I lost like all interest in the match because No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because the thing is, like, you knew where this was going. Because they did the same thing that they did with Chris Statlander. They talked about Christian being undefeated and so in singles action and all this other shit. So you knew that it was going to go that way.
So and to let the people know, I feel this way about both companies. If there are matches that I clearly know who the winner is going to be, I tend to tune out.
Same.
This was one of those matches.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'll say I was 50-50 here.
Honestly, by the time I really tuned in and focused was when Kenny was hitting them crazy ass V triggers.
Yeah.
And then I think Christian hit the the kill switch. Kenny kicked out. Like around that time is when I really paid attention. But I knew this wasn't gonna be no 5-10 minute match. Like I knew this was gonna be at least a 15-20 minute match. I don't know how long it went completely, but I knew this wasn't
it went to about 20-25 minutes, I think.
Yeah, so roughly around maybe the 15 or so minute mark, I really kind of like focused and paid attention.
Yeah.
But the moment I saw that the match was continuing, and I knew because my heart would have legitimately dropped. If Hangsman music would have hit, I would have been like, you know what? That son of a bitch did it again. but I knew Christian wasn't going to beat Kenny for the AEW title.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was honestly waiting to see what happened when Christian came out to see if he was going to get jumped. But as soon as I saw him actually make it to the ring,
yeah, I
was like, okay. But honestly, though, pretty damn good match, despite the fact that we saw it like a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only glaring thing is I think if they would have had somebody else win the Impact title, like if it was Kazarian that won like the Impact Championship. But I get it. They want to build it to where it's like the same person that beat Kenny. So it was like, okay, well, if he beat Kenny once, he can beat him again. So that was their whole story, which is whatever. But yeah.
Okay, Kenny won. He hit a devastating ass one wing angel off the
from the middle rope, yeah.
Which helped Christian actually look good in defeat.
Yes, because he had to hit a avalanche one wing angel to lose.
Was that like that's probably definitely not the first time Kenny's done that move, but I think that's the first time in AEW.
First time in AEW.
I think so, yeah.
Now, the one thing I hate, AEW needs to get their whatchamacallit slightly better. Their beatdowns. Because the Elite hit the ring pretty quickly. They was jumping on, then boom, here comes Jurassic Express. Then it's like, fam, y'all should have came out there.
Just like earlier.
Just like earlier with the whole Hardy family office. It was like, fam, y'all let the best friends get stomped. Then here y'all come.
They want to make sure that they can make it out by themselves first before they go out there.
I mean, come on now. You had the Young Bucks limping to the ring, it wasn't like they hit.
Matt had the ice taped onto his back.
Like the Young Bucks hobbled to the ring, it was still able to get some good licks in on Christian before Jurassic Express came out there.
True.
Very true.
And then Kenny and his promos of how there's nobody signed to the company or whatever.
I think he said they're either not here, not signed, or he said
they're not here, not signed, they're retired, or they're dead.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said dead, no, before the lights even went out, as soon as he said dead, I was like, no.
Lights went out, and in struts the one Adam Cole, baby.
And it should have been obvious that he was going to turn once he walked out, because he walked out from the hillside.
Not only that, what about Adam Cole says good guy?
Well, because they could have been placating to the fact that, not only, I mean, even if you take the BTE side out of it, where they killed him, by poisoning him, but they kicked him out of Bullet Club.
They did.
Yeah, that was Bullet Club. This is the Elite.
I'm saying, but that's the last thing as far as a professional wrestling wise that they saw before he went to NXT.
You said you watched this BTE today, right?
Yeah.
So they do explain why Adam Cole just came over to the Elite all willy-nilly, kind of.
Why is that?
So they do a seance talking about, hey guys, Kenny's over here like, hey guys, like, I don't know, like y'all are gonna be in cages, we're not gonna be able to help you. Like, we're starting to look a little short-staffed here. We might need to come in or call in some friends. And I think I know exactly who to call from the grave. And then they're like, oh god, Kenny, this isn't gonna work, blah blah blah. Then like you see a little seance go on. Kenny's like summoning Adam Cole. And everyone's like, this didn't work. Kenny's like, damn it. And then they all leave. And then the lights go out. And then Adam Cole's standing in there. And he's like, the hell? He's like, who did he call out to? Super Crazy.
No, he's so-called Super Dragon.
No, Super Dragon. He's like, Super Dragon. Like, because that's who he was wrestling with at that California show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like that's who he was like wrestling with at that California show. So he's like, Super Dragon, I'm like, what the fuck? Where are you? And then he pulls out his phone. He's like, holy
He's like,
shit!
it's been 4 years.
Yeah, he's like, holy shit! It's been 4 years. Like, what the fuck? And then right before he walks out, he's like, why do I taste Monster Energy drink? Because that's exactly what the Bucks poisoned him, or poisoned it was his Monster Energy that he was. Yeah.
Nice. Now I'm not gonna lie. Personally speaking, it hurt my heart to see him go, only because he's was a great addition to Up Up Down Down.
Yeah.
Like, he was a great addition to Up Up Down Down, and he definitely won't be on the channel anymore because he immediately went to AEW. But yeah, like,
yeah, Skuggs is pretty cool.
But yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, I was telling Ashley, I said, I think the nail in the coffin of his decision was Karrion Kross.
It had to be.
He saw what they did to Karrion Kross and was like, ooh, no.
That no. That wasn't it. So? No, I mean I know it wasn't.
Okay.
But we're gonna get into that after though.
Okay.
We definitely will, because it's funny. It's funny how everything is universal with all these signings, especially ones coming from WWE.
Okay.
And it's it's funny because when you guys go back, if you guys go back and see like the evidence that I'm talking about that I actually looked at, you'll end up seeing it as well. But Adam Cole does come out, and I think the moment that they all did like the whole like freeze frame thing, of like, you know, when they're all standing at, you know, in front of him, I was like, oh shit, he's about to super kick Jungle Boy. And sure enough, he super kicked Jungle Boy. And then he begins to cut his promo, which again, it's almost as if he never fucking left, because it was just all just on point.
He's a great talker.
Oh yes, and
then like I was telling my brother too, we're not going to sit here and pretend that these guys just stopped talking those last 4 years either.
Oh, absolutely, no. Absolutely.
like we're not going to pretend that Cole never spoke to the Young Bucks or Kenny the whole time he was in NXT. Like, come on, you know.
Which I mean, now they can.
His girlfriend is over there, so I mean,
now they can actually all talk about together.
Yes.
Then like, why? She'll probably talk about it on Jock is Jericho, or I don't know.
Which I will be definitely watching that episode when that happens. Episode when that happens.
Before and after.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Then of course,
the
beatdown continued. And then the Flight of the Valkyries hit.
Well, Kenny was going to sign off. Yeah, he was saying, "I bid you all adieu," and goodbye. And as soon as he said goodbye, then it played, and I was like, "No, the fuck, they are not doing this shit right now."
Just all of it.
It was just like, here. Is your plate full? Does your cup runneth over? Here, have a second serving. Because we're not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us more like a grandmother that wanted to give us seconds, man.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. They gave us a grandmother who wouldn't let us leave with that. Who wouldn't let us leave without a plate.
Thank you, Abuela. Right. Thank you, Abuela. I appreciate it.
Exactly. Go in there. Go.
Take something home. Go.
You take some of this
basically.
Home. I'm full. You got to take some of this home.
It's like, no, you're gonna be hungry later.
But exactly. We already got Suzuki. We already got Ruby Soho. We already got CM Punk's return to the ring. We already got no. You're going to take some home in the form of Bryan Danielson.
Exactly. But Grandma, we just had Adam Cole. It's like, no, honey. You got Bryan Danielson to go.
You got Bryan Danielson.
Right? So yeah. Then of course, and then the yes chants ensue. And of course, you already knew that. Yeah, if you had a heel come out. All right, so clearly now we have a debuting face.
Yes.
And so he gets, and the line is drawn. He's standing there with Christian and Jurassic Express, and then a nice little brawl ensues, and then the Elite run. Well, no. Matter of fact, no. The brawl didn't happen. They just left.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Elite just
left. No. Kenny left.
Oh yeah. Kenny ran
left.
out. And then yeah. So and then of course AEW goes off the air. All Out ends with Daniel Bryan in the ring, with Jurassic Express Christian being victorious for the moment that they were. And that was pretty much All Out. Now, I know Scoot had something that he wanted to bring up. Now, I don't know if it's coinciding with the stuff that I was going to bring up, but hey, I guess it's all going to be all encompassing because what happened after All Out was one was a promo by Bryan Danielson, who pretty much talked about, why a lot of them were going to AEW. He was basically saying because of because of the professional wrestlers there, and primarily the fans as well. But after that, there was a media scrum and a press conference, so to speak. And
I saw the highlights they took from Daniel's interview.
Oh, well, I watched Bryan Danielson. I watched Ruby Soho's. I watched and Adam Cole's in their entirety. And
where are these interviews? Like, these are AEW interviews, or where are they?
Yeah. So basically, they had like these little media interviews. Yeah, it's almost a 2-hour video
between the three of them, or each.
No, but I think they're like 2015 because they interviewed CM Punk, Ruby Soho, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, and the Lucha Brothers.
So so it was almost 2 hours all together. It's on AEW's YouTube channel.
All right, there it is, right there.
With that,
so there was a general consensus across the board as far as between Soho, Cole, and Danielson. And it's the way that they all looked or came across. They all felt genuine, and it's funny because Danielson was the one that kind of brought it up because I think he was the last. No, Cole's was the last one that I had saw. Danielson was the second one, and like you can tell, like just the genuine nature that they had when they're speaking about just being just over the moon, like happy and excited for like this new adventure, so to speak. And you can, and the thing is, when you see that in somebody's face, like you can't fake that. And when Ruby Soho was talking about, and this is something I said I was going to bring up earlier, is the fact that with her pop, with her getting that massive pop that she got, she said that she had never gotten that before, as far and granted, of course you have you had Ruby Riott fans, of course, but again, you didn't have them like that in WWE, mainly because she wasn't being pushed like that. So when you have genuine fans who actually care about professional wrestling, they know when somebody's being done unjust. They know when there's actual talent that deserves to have a spot because of what they're able to do. And, that's one of the things that actually show that. So for her, she never got that until last night. So that's what she was saying. And she said it was something that was kind of emotional about it for her. So with her, she basically stated, she knew that was a place that she wanted to actually go. because she kept hearing a lot of good things about it because, of course, she still kept in contact with a lot of the people that work there. So for her, she was like, well, it just sounds too good to be true. It's like there's no way it could be that good. And so she finally, got there and she sees that, oh, no, it actually is this good. And so she said her main goal at this point is to finally win a championship on national syndicated television because she's never done that, which is true because, you think about WWE, she's never won a title.
Nope.
Both on NXT or huh?
Isn't that a damn shame?
It is a damn shame. But again, that's why the fans gave her that pop that she did because they know how she's been treated that whole time. Now, in Bryan Danielson's case, he still spoke highly of WWE, in a way because but we also got confirmation as well as far as his deal that he was supposed to have if he had resigned. He was going to basically get the Jericho treatment where he was going to be able to go and do things outside the company, but one thing that he did say was that Vince is actually overprotective of him. So this to me basically connected the dots for me because I was like, okay, this is why that New Japan deal was that they were trying so hard to maintain, because if they control the narrative in New Japan, then they won't have a Jericho situation. So if he's overprotective of Daniel Bryan, then he's going to make sure that, okay, well, if we get New Japan in our back pocket, then at least we know that he won't have to worry about going anywhere else because he can do New Japan and still stay over here. So there was that. But, for him, even what he said, and this is what I love about his thing, and this also tells where he's going moving forward, is, he said he didn't want to, he got a taste of being part of creative in SmackDown for a little bit, and it was cool, but he wants to wrestle. He went to AEW because he sees the talent there. He wants to wrestle. He's like, basically, I see these nice guys. I get what Punk's saying. Punk wants to, bring up these new guys and all this other stuff. But me, I just want to kick their ass. I just want to see who's like, I know how good I am. I want to see how good they are. That's what I'm here for.
I think he said, I want to kick their fucking head off or something like that.
Yeah. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Yeah. But, I like that. He's like, I'm gonna leave the creative stuff and all the business stuff to these guys, to Tony. That's what they're there for. But me, I just want to get in the ring and do what I love to do. Now for Cole, I don't want to say that the Karrion Kross thing wasn't a factor, but for Cole, it's mainly because, he's been going to AEW shows, since it's been in its inception.
Oh, really?
Because that's what he said at the media scrum. He said that he's been backstage, whether it be supporting Britt at in one of her matches, but he's been backstage at the shows. So
no shit.
So of course he's of course, just like Scoot said, he's been in contact with them. So it's no surprise there. But for him, even he said he thought that his contract was going to be up in December.
Wait. Hold on. Before you continue, kudos to that never being leaked out.
Right.
I think that there was one picture that had showed him in like the background, but I think that's the only thing that I saw. And this was like months back.
Like, kudos to that. But go ahead and finish.
He even assumed his contract was up in December. He didn't know that it was going to be up. Yeah. So he said he was expecting like contract negotiations to happen like in like the next 6 months from his perspective, but then like when he found out, oh shit, it's in like 3 days. Oh, okay. He pretty much knew what he was going to do at that point. And it's funny because a lot of people are saying it's because of like his Twitch thing. Vince and them would have let him keep his Twitch. It was definitely not because of that.
Yeah, because Paige still has theirs.
Yeah. The thing is for him is that, and it's funny because when I end up watching BTE today, and you can attest to this, the way that it ended, it was like perfect because you could tell by that embrace that he had with everybody at the end. It's like him coming back home. It's like him going back to a place where it's like you knew he was going to be valued, and that's the general consensus with a lot of things. Because who said it? I think it was either Ruby Soho. It was either Soho, Punk, or Danielson. But one of them had stated that just by, the type of person that Tony Khan is, the way that he makes it feel over there, it's like basically, I know it was Ruby Soho asking her, like, if she had everything and the stuff that she needed, like as far as like her input, and she felt like she never had that before. It's like basically like them being themselves, and it's like you don't have to play a character. It's just us coming up here and like basically being genuine. And I think Danielson was one that actually seconded that as well during his media scrum.
If you don't have to do like gimmicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just coming up there and I think that that's what he was talking about. He was basically saying, he learned how to be himself through professional wrestling, and through all of that, he's able to talk to and have these conversations with all these people, ask him questions. Like there's no question, that anybody can ask that'll throw him off. He said, you can ask me about me and my wife's sex life, and I'll sit here and tell you, XYZ, but I won't be knocked off by it. It is what it is.
Right.
And that's when he seconded the whole situation by basically saying, and that's what it is. That's what it's like being here. It's like, I don't have to worry about being a certain character. I can just come in here and just be me. That's it. I just want to come here. I want to wrestle, and that's it. And there's no pressure.
Yeah.
So, so that's the thing, and this is one of the situations where I bring up where Punk goes.
Mm.
You have everybody sitting here basically saying their goals and what they want to do. Punk, yeah, he calls out a few names. Basically says, the whole general spill of somebody coming back into wrestling. There's all these guys here. I want to face this guy. We are potentially about to get a Punk heel turn.
I kind of saw that from jump.
I wanted to see that so bad at the end of his match with Darby.
And that's where I'm coming from on that, because there was a split second.
He was going to beat up Sting.
Mm-hmm. And there was a stick where I was like, okay, maybe we might get something here. But I think what they're doing, they're letting everybody ride this wave, of this, and which is why he kept saying that shit. And it clicked to me a long time ago, too, why he kept saying that shit over and over. He's like, yeah, the lush is going to die off, it's going to wear off, and all this other stuff. And, you guys are going to be tired of it. It's going to come at a moment's notice. So what's going to happen is that instead of Punk being this person that's, he wants to build up the future and everything like that, it's going to be him trying to make up for lost time by taking out the future.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. A lot of and I know a lot of people might tend to think, and this whole like I don't want to say WWE effect, because we're getting a lot of people from WWE coming in, but I think we probably did a video of it before, and I still said the fact that I don't think that it's going to change anything as long as it doesn't get too crazy. I think they got the right people right now that's going to help usher in the future. Because because a lot of people think because they got CM Punk, Bryan Danielson.
Wait. Hold off right there. That's going to spin off on where I wanted to talk about too. So,
okay.
Shouts out to, I don't know if Jaeger, you ended up watching the video, because I did send y'all the link. Shouts out to Sir Wilkins and the Jobber Tears podcast, but he posted this video this morning. I'm gonna play the audio for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Sir Wilkins of the Jobber Tears podcast, and I hope all is well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, last night was AEW's pay-per-view All Out.
Yeah.
All Out was the epitome of AEW putting its dick on the table and saying, WWE is the next move, dogs. They came out and said, I got the bigger glizzy, and tossed it on the grill. Last night we saw Ruby Soho, Bryan, and Adam Cole, baby, make their debut on AEW pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is looking amazing. AEW is looking like the 2016-2017 Warriors. Looking crazy. Like championship run type of thing. They put a collection of some great talent together. But I got questions. What happens to the rest of the roster that was already there? Do they get pushed further down on the card? AEW has 3 nights of premiere TV, which is Dynamite and Rampage. Will the AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation be elevated to something more premier than what they are right now? The question I also have, the Elite has gotten bigger, added another member on there. It's feeling very NWO-ish. This could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing. We'll wait and see. Ruby Riott won that Casino Battle Royale. So was she the right person to win? Personally, I think I should have won, but you know what I love was Ruby Soho. So we'll see what happens. The women's division has potential now. Ladies and gentlemen, these are questions that I have. And questions I want answers to, but I'll wait. But right now, shit looking crazy. Leave a comment below. Share this with your friend.
Now, the comment I put personally, which Jaeger, I don't know if you could speak to it, but I definitely know Lip could. I put, yep, AEW is looking TNA-ish when they got all that talent in the mid-2000s and early 2010s.
Yeah, I was going through that conversation that you guys were having.
There's one guy I was arguing with, and I don't think he was getting what I was saying because I don't know if he didn't watch TNA at that time or he was just taking what I was saying as face value. But Dizzle, you know what I mean by AEW's looking TNA-ish because they was getting Kurt Angle, they was getting Kevin Nash, Booker T, Hogan, Eric Bischoff, the Dudley Boy. Yep. They started getting all of these talent that was former WWE, WCW guys, and all of the TNA homegrown talent was steady getting pushed down in the card. And it was a good dialogue me and the guy had. Like, I mean, I just think he was just taking everything as face value and not seeing it as a big picture. And and one of the things I said too, which I was saying, and of course, this could be a reach, this could be a long shot, this could be whatever. I was like, yeah, we got all of this great talent coming in. But who's to say that talent is happy that all of this talent is coming in? Who's to say Darby Allin is okay with losing to CM Punk? Who's to say those women in that battle royal are okay that Ruby Soho got the title shot? Who's to say, oh shit, here come Adam Cole, here come Bryan Danielson. We might be still on Dark and Elevation, if that. Who's like, you know, that was something I just threw out there because he was basically trying to, because like I said, the guy was basically saying, he was saying people like Darby, Jungle Boy, Orange, Guevara, and Britt Baker. I said, yeah, these were people who got over before these people showed up. What about the people who might have been on the cusp of becoming next up? Now they might have to get pushed down again.
Like for Ruby, like in Ruby Soho's case, where does that put, I don't know, Layla Hirsch? Where does that put Red Velvet? Where does that put even Jamie Hayter? Like for Danielson and Adam, well, I mean, Adam Cole, you don't really have to worry about too much. He's just going to be with the Elite and doing whatever they get into.
Who's to say? But this was my question that was going to spin off on that. If Young Bucks magically get their belts back, who's to say Cole might not end Miro's run and take the TNT title? He out heals the heels because he has the Elite. These are all things. I mean, granted, I'm hoping AEW doesn't stroke their own ego like that with the Elite, but I was just saying personally, I don't, because I ended up by telling him, I just don't want AEW to end up like TNA and WCW because history tends to repeat itself.
See, or don't. I mean, I know you don't think that they're going to, but I don't think that AEW is going to end up like WCW just because they don't have the creative control, or was it? They don't have like what Time Warner had at that time, which is that whole creative control thing.
But
like, yeah.
Okay.
But same time, if you start flooding your roster, you don't really know what's like. You're gonna get people that are what? How long are some of these wrestlers here for? Like some of these newer additions, are they actually here to stay for a few years, or are they only here for a year at a time?
They never really divulge their contracts like that. They always just say multi-year contract.
Well, I mean, multi-year is great up until that year is over. Then it's like, what are you doing with these people that you've pushed down that have been here forever?
Because also, too, another thing to think about, too, which a lot of people kind of overlooks, AEW helps the fact that Tony Khan's family is billionaires. That helps a lot.
Yeah. Because they can pay for all these wrestlers that they're getting.
They can pay for all these wrestlers. They could back up the contracts. They could go to network to network. They can go to any network. Hell, even if AEW turns into a YouTube only thing, they will still have the money and the connects to make it work.
Oh yeah, they would flood the algorithm and make it where it's like any wrestling you want to watch. Hey, go to AEW.
All right, look, Dizzle, you've been over there pondering. What you got to say on it? I feel like you got some bars to drop.
I mean, in a sense of the whole TNA situation, TNA gave their wrestlers freedom as well. They were able to partner with New Japan and all this other stuff, Ring of Honor and everything.
That is true.
So they had the access to do that, just like AEW has now. During that time, here's the thing with TNA. TNA, they were on the right track, but they ended up losing their way, business-wise. And that's one of the main issues that they had. Because they were doing everything perfectly fine. But the moment that they started getting an influx of WWE talent, as far as the refugee-wise, the problem is they did so much in their power to, because it was a going trend. Because when you had Kurt Angle go there, they pushed him to the moon, where he won every TNA championship. Then you had Christian go over there. Christian ended up becoming like champion automatically. And you had Mr. Kennedy. And you had all these other people just coming there. And then you had the situation with Hogan and Bischoff trying to, make TNA a resurrection of WCW and try to compete almost immediately with WWE. The thing is, if they would have stayed in their lane, TNA would have never gone the way that it went. Because honestly, I had started watching TNA from its inception.
It's a little bit after its inception,
and it was a nice niche thing, and it wasn't. And at that point, it wasn't meant to compete with WWE. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, and by popularity, it became that big. And then what happened was, when I don't know if it was Jeff Jarrett or if it was somebody else, but somebody started, it wasn't either, because I think what happened was they were just doing perfectly fine. And then the moment that Hogan and Bischoff got involved in that, and the same thing with what's her face?
Dixie Carter. When
she got in, it was like a lot of business things started to go amiss. The reason why that comparison between TNA and AEW it's a small comparison. It ends at a certain extent. It ends right before the Dixie Carter and then the whole trying to compete with WWE thing come into play. The reason I say that is because, again, Tony Khan initially is one of us. He's somebody that grew up in the same era that we did. He's somebody that understands the business the same way that we do, probably better. I don't think this is a situation like that. And I say that because right now we are watching AEW in its inception. There's a lot of people that counted AEW out. So
Yeah.
even when we sit here and we say WWE refugees, there's only so many of them that actually are, because a lot of people can sit here and say, you know, John Moxley is a WWE refugee, but he was there during the inception. So, I mean, would you count him as a refugee or would you count him as an AEW original? You know,
A little bit of both, only because we just seen him as Dean Ambrose.
true.
It'd be different if he was gone for a while, but he had just stopped being Dean Ambrose like a month or so, maybe 2 months before. Chris Jericho, same thing. Chris Jericho, yes, he's an AEW original because he was already gone. He was already doing New Japan shit. So Jericho was, we didn't know he had a special deal with WWE where he was off. So Jericho, I don't consider a WWE refugee in a sense, because he was there from the inception.
Okay. Now let's take that same inception conversation and let's throw the titles into this aspect. AEW is being very smart because what they're doing, and this is from my perspective, I don't know if that's the truth, but from how I see it, all these titles have prestige on them. There's not that many people that have held these titles. Matter of fact, I think the tag titles are the only ones that have had a higher number than all the other titles as far as holders.
This is the fourth team to hold the tag titles.
Yeah, so but that's the thing. All their title holders are in single digits. They're only in their second, in their second year, going into their third.
Yeah.
So what they're doing, because on the outside, a lot of people are going to look at it like that.
The TNT title technically had five holders.
Let me see.
It was
Cody, Darby,
Brody, Cody, Darby, Miro.
Cody was 3 times already.
No, 2.
Oh,
he's just 2.
Cody, Darby, Cody, Brody,
and Miro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5. Tag teams are 4 now.
I think the women are at 4.
Riho, Nyla, Sheeta, Britt, yeah.
And the world title only has had 3.
3.
Jericho, Mox, and Omega. So yeah, you're right.
So going with that idea, and this is why I say that the future of AEW is still perfectly fine, because all these guys coming in are just helping to build the foundation, because a lot of these guys have gone, of course, have come from WWE, but they've been around. They've been around the system that has helped kind of put professional wrestling at the forefront as far as commercialism. So these guys have been within that machine. So you have minds within here, and think about the roster of AEW is a lot of young people that probably haven't been anywhere like WWE or a New Japan.
When Chris did Talk is Jericho with, I think he did it with Mox, and I think he did it with Cody as well. He was saying that it felt weird knowing the fact that doing Dynamite, only a very small few of us was used to doing weekly TV.
And that's the thing.
No, Dustin. He was talking to Dustin. He was talking to Dustin about that that only a few of us was used to doing weekly TV when Dynamite started. So
if you look at it from that perspective, and you have a lot of these guys, a lot of the better minds, for lack of a better term, in this situation, they're doing the work that's going to help the future maintain AEW moving forward. So all these guys here, your Punks, your Bryans, Dustin to an extent, your Codys, because even Cody himself had stated that he was going to retire. If he was actually going to go plan and do political shit, who knows? But
he said like 40, he was going to do that.
Yeah. So that's only a few years away at this point. So from that, looking at it from that perspective, and it's like I talked about before, where I said we have this tier, like we have these guys that are here at the top tier right now, who's going to be the guys that pretty much are at the top level. Your Moxes, your Omegas, your so and so's, and then you have your middle tier, who's going to be here to. And this is kind of where your Miro is right now, right before he gets up to that top. Your Hangman is pretty much between that and that lower tier of the future. They already have an established thing here to where it's you can kind of see where the train's going. You can see what card's up next. You can kind of see the trajectory that they're going to show the longevity of this company. And I think a lot of people are so used to comparing eras and promotions from how they were before to the point to where now that mentality has them in that comparison mode to where it's like, oh shit, all these WWE guys are coming over here, where they're not actually looking at the roster of AEW and saying, oh, well, these guys are a bit younger. Oh, these guys haven't been on, syndicated television to where it's like they know. All these guys that's coming in now are basically built to help. Who's to say that this wasn't Adam Cole's whole plan all along? To sit there and have them have, build AEW, him go to NXT, build his stock up, just so that way he can leave and then end up going there once they establish something.
But but to even spin off of your point, the only reason why I kind of hate the whole term of these are WWE guys or these are whatchamacallit guys, because at the end of the day, they're wrestlers, and if they got fired from their contract, released on their contract, or their contract is up, their plan wasn't to stop wrestling.
Right.
Like, if New Day right now gets fired, God, I hope not. Do you think Woods, Big E, and Kofi would just magically just stop wrestling? I'm pretty sure one of these companies are going to be like, hey, y'all still want to wrestle? I mean, y'all got to come up with a new name, but y'all still want to wrestle? Hell, if fucking Seth fucking Rollins, he would go back to Tyler Black in a minute, in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Right there in AEW or right there in Impact or New Japan. Like these guys aren't going to just stop wrestling. Like,
very true.
They have to just wrestle. I mean, granted, yes, the last company they were in were WWE, and we see what WWE does. They do massive ass cuts. So
if somebody leaves TNA and goes to AEW or WWE, we don't refer to them as a TNA guy.
Yeah, because we didn't do that with AJ Styles, really.
Exactly.
He was doing other things before, but we never looked at AJ Styles or Samoa Joe as TNA guys like that.
Like, we don't
think about MSK either.
Or
we never
MSK.
We never called like before Daniel Bryan got to WWE, we never called him a Ring of Honor guy.
No. Or CM Punk.
Or CM Punk or Adam Cole.
Yeah. So
right. It's like you can't say that these are just because they went to WWE, which is like I guess still semi the top, although crumbling. You can't just keep calling them WWE guys. They're just wrestlers. Yeah, it is. It is 100%.
So that was my whole thing with just the question, because my opinion was I just don't want AEW to lose their way and lose sight. And it's easy to get the brand new shiny toy and forget old reliable is right there.
Yeah.
I mean, for my people who watch Toy Story, it's easy to get Buzz Lightyear and forget Woody is right there.
Yeah.
And kind of like the analogy we used earlier, it's easy to get fed at grandma's. Grandma gives you some take-home plates, and you'd be like, I have food at the house. Like, I already have food at the house.
Like, Grandma, I already meal prepped for the week.
But But grandma didn't derail your whole plan because she didn't give you 2 pans worth of food. So now, what you gonna do with the food you already got at the house? And it's easy to lose sight, right? It's easy to lose sight that, oh yeah, we do got Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, MJF, Ricky Starks, and whoever else, Thunder Rosa's and your Anna Jay's, Ty Conti's, and Chris Statlander's. It's easy to forget that.
Yeah.
And I just and basically the way I was answering the question and even responding to that guy, I don't want AEW to lose sight because it's easy. Because we've seen this too many times in history that shiny new toys, quote unquote, start coming in. I don't want to play with the old ones anymore. They're here, but I don't want to care. I don't care.
That being
my thing
said,
is, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, that being said, where does Lance Archer go now that he's lost to Tanahashi?
See now.
No, I mean, speaking of old toys, I'm just saying.
He's a perfect example. He came in as a brand new shiny toy, hit the ground running. He became kind of an old used toy quick. Then the newness kind of came back a little bit because he took that belt from Mox, lost the belt to Tanahashi. Now he got beat up by the Men of the Year. You know.
Well, wait, has he been on Darker Elevation?
I have to watch tonight. I have to watch tonight's Elevation, but he hasn't been on.
Then to me that's perfectly fine right now because that means that they're just taking him off of TV. But my thing is this: for anybody who like would have a question as to, a certain company, at some point you have to judge a company by its titles, and I say that with New Japan in mind because you see a lot of people come in and out of New Japan as far as their rosters or worldwide or whatever. But the prestige that those titles hold. And that if somebody's holding that title, that they are goddamn important. Mm-hmm. So if you look at AEW right now, until they do something stupid with these titles, judge them by their titles that they have right now, because there's not one champion that you can look at on AEW and say they do not deserve that title. You can, as far as in-ring performance, as booking, whatever. Everybody that's holding the title. Are we talking about Ricky Stark?
No.
Oh.
The first women's champion shouldn't have been that champion.
Riho?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we all technically agree with that. I'm just talking about like right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, right now, yeah.
I mean like
the women's division has come a long way from where it started.
Oh, they definitely have.
Matter of fact, yeah, because one of our first like podcast episodes was talking about fixing the AEW women's division. Yeah, so we already know that's definitely been like a glaring like issue, but they've come a long way from that, and they're consistently getting better. But yeah, right now I think AEW at this point in time, they're just building up the prestige of their titles and their company, and there's gonna be more titles. Those trios titles are coming, and that's where Darby Allin is going next, because him, Mox, and Kingston are gonna win those trios titles.
And didn't they team up tonight or last night? They had a special dark, I think, on Sunday, and I think Darby, Kingston, and Moxley teamed up in a 6-man.
I'm not surprised. They're putting it in your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that was my whole thing, and like I said, me arguing with the guy. I wouldn't even necessarily say we was arguing, but it was just like, don't take me as somebody who hates AEW. I'm just coming from somebody who don't want AEW to fail.
Yeah, true.
Because it's easy to ignore history by saying, that won't happen to us, and then next thing you know, damn, that happened to us.
On top of that, AEW's rebounding from the COVID era. who knows what else they had planned if COVID didn't happen.
True.
So, you know, if COVID didn't happen, AEW would probably look hella different right now.
They probably would have.
To be
You're right.
perfectly honest.
I probably would still been a fan of Matt Hardy at the moment. So
that's true. So right now, I think what they're doing, because again, Sheeta had a lot of good matches when she was women's champion, and it's not a lot of stuff that got a lot of attention. Now that Britt Baker's champion, they're going to continue to build her up in all these matches, which is why I believe that the match between her and Ruby Soho is going to be a knockout, drag out, fantastic fucking match to help build her up as a credible women's champion up until the point where she has her rematch with Thunder Rosa. So, yeah. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it for me.
Well, with that, I give a good old nice little too sweet to my bros.
I mean, you know, the most special of two sweets.
Bow. And of course, like always, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it. Comment all your comments, questions, concerns, opinions down below. We're more than happy to share that dialogue and go back and forth with you. Hit that notification bell to get those notifications, those updates of any time that we drop something here on the YouTube. But most importantly, mother effing subscribe.
Just one click, one tap. Yeah. Either one.
Yeah.
Either one would do.
Subscribe. Yeah.
Just simple as that. But until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, I bid you all adieu. And to all you beautiful mother effers, as always, tag the fucketh out.